I'm Laverne Cifolio. I'm VP of Marketing at Tego Inc. We're here at RFID Journal Live in Confidex's booth, disclosing our partnership to work together. And today what I'm going to demo for you is our asset intelligence platform solution used by life sciences company, specifically pharmaceutical manufacturers, in order to provide an automated, touchless environmental monitoring system so that they can make better, quicker, faster decisions about releasing batches of drugs they manufacture to inventory. So what you're seeing in front of you is our Tego Narrator, which is an app that runs on an Android or an iPad or an iPhone. And this is what life sciences manufacturers, operators would use on the floor. This app is connecting to the Zebra reader, and it's reading information that's stored on each one of these sterile components that you see over here, whether they're settle plates or sterile collection bottles. And in the United States, the FDA mandates and regulates clean room conditions for all sorts of drug manufacturing. And in order to monitor the cleanliness of the manufacturing room and the process, the manufacturers actually put these settle plates into the room, and then they monitor them over a 10 to 12 day period, and they make sure that there's no contaminants growing. If there are contaminants growing in these plates, then they have to actually flag the batch and determine that it needs to be further investigated or thrown away as waste. So what we have here is each one of these components have been RF tagged with a Tego chip, high memory Tego chip, that's also gamma sterilizable. So they were tagged, they went through gamma sterilization, and then they were released into the environment, the manufacturing floor. And what you're seeing here is each one of these components maintains a detailed life cycle history about everything that happens to it, which is associated with the manufacturing process for the batch. So this one agar plate was released to manufacturing on the May 4th, and then it was released to manufacturing May 4th, was released by Julian Webster, and it was going to monitor the H1N1 vaccine as it was being produced. Then it went into a monitoring environment where, again, Julian Webster determined that after its incubation period, nothing was growing, and so the culture passed. And then the ultimate decision was made that, in fact, the H1N1 vaccine that was produced that day could be released to inventory. The same could not be said for this agar plate. So in this agar plate, what you're going to see is, the first thing that's going to pop up is you're going to see a notification that says flagged. Okay, recall alert. Particulates were found, and so therefore that means that the warning, this batch should not be released. If you want to learn more about exactly what happened, this particular asset has all the unique history about it, so it tells its story. And what's interesting about this one is you will see John Smith is the operator that initially released the plate into the manufacturing environment. He's the person that monitored it and its condition, and then ultimately that led to the batch being thrown out. Now, what we know from vaccine manufacturers is that any batch that is wasted like that could cost $500,000. Okay, so aside from our Tego Narrator, which shows what happens on the manufacturing floor and what operators would use, what we're showing over here is Tego Hub. And this is our cloud or our web-based application, and this is a simple dashboard. And it's showing you that in each of these widgets is showing you a piece of information. So the first one is there are 5 different assets that are being used on the manufacturing floor. Some are agar plates, there's also sterile HEPA filters, and also sterile bottles, which you see here. What we're seeing over here is basically the outcome of production by week. So on July 2nd, July 5th, July 12th, and July 19th, we're seeing that there was a lot of waste, which is the red area, on the 5th, and smaller areas on the 12th and the 19th. Of course, that would lead a manager to want to investigate as to why. And even here, you're seeing on this dashboard that there were 5 different batches that had to be rejected, 6 that were flagged for further investigation, and 12 that were passed. He's looking at his dashboard and basically saying we need to increase the efficiency of our production. What he would do, or she would do, would be to run a report. And so what you can do is dive into this data and run reports in regards to what exactly is going on. So the first one is batch outcome by manufacturing date. There's the raw data, but most people don't want to deal with raw data. They actually want to see what it looks like. And so what we're showing here is that, in fact, of all the different batches that were made, it seems that the dinovirus vaccine is the one that's causing the most problems and the most waste. So what this may mean is if we have to negotiate a contract with our vendor who's providing the raw material to make this vaccine, we might be saying maybe it's coming to us contaminated, and so we need to make different decisions or go with a different contractor and vendor. Another report we could run here is the operator contaminant report. And remember I mentioned earlier that we said John Smith was the one who notified that this one batch needed to be recalled. Well, what we're seeing here is that in fact of all the different batches that were wasted, it's John Smith who touched them and caused them to be contaminated. So this would tell us that we need to go back and educate John Smith about how to have more cleanliness routines before he goes on the manufacturing floor, making sure that when he goes there, he's not erroneously contaminating things. Our solution is providing this automated, gamma sterilizable, traceability down to the component level, which makes better, faster, and quicker decisions.